In 2002, 20 years ago, the book Agile Software Development with Scrum was published. Here's an extract from the book describing how a Scrum Master should make decisions and resolve impediments. How does the Scrum Master keep the team working at the highest possible level of productivity? The Scrum Master does this by making decisions and removing impediments. When decisions need to be made in the daily Scrum, the Scrum Master is responsible for making the decisions immediately. What does this sound like to you? A servant leader here to serve a team? A true leader? Or more like a manager telling the team what to do? Sounds more like a manager, right? Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, the Scrum Master role started as a manager, and since then, for the past 20 years, the role has evolved a lot. But despite this evolution, many people are still stuck with this manager mindset, still doing old things, behaviors that no longer work or no longer relevant, and it might not be their fault. In this video, I will share the worst, outdated behaviors that I see so many Scrum Masters doing, things that are hurting your teams, things that you might not even be aware of. First off, let's start with a core problem. I believe that most issues Scrum Masters face originate from a core problem: the outcome. What's the outcome of this Scrum Master? You are a Scrum Master. What are you here to do? What's your purpose with the team? What's your ultimate goal with this team? Go ask your stakeholders. Go ask your team and compare with what you answered to this question. I guarantee you, like many others, there might be some discrepancies. I see that often. Scrum Masters believing that they are here to do something. You ask for stakeholders, totally different answer. If management believes that you are in charge of delivery, responsible for the delivery rate of the team, if they are meeting the project deadlines or not, obviously you will be micromanaging the team. How can you not? If they believe that you are in charge of keeping Jira up to date, of managing the budget of a project, you will be doing these things. You will be making decisions related to these topics, related to the things that you are in charge of. It will be really hard not to do that, because this will affect your performance and what management, your stakeholders are expecting from you. So please start by reading the Scrum Guide 2020. It's only 14 pages long. Read some articles on Scrum, on agility, some videos, some books, and then start implementing all the things that you've learned. Experience is extremely important, but the knowledge part, following the Scrum Guide 2020, the latest version of the Scrum Guide as per the book, extremely useful if you want to fulfill the Scrum Master role correctly. Now, what are the big traps that I see so many Scrum Masters fall for when joining an existing Scrum team? Let's say there's an existing Scrum team. You have been sent to the Scrum team because the Scrum team is not performing as expected. Maybe they are not meeting their delivery dates. People feel, the stakeholders feel that they are not efficient enough, productive enough. You've been sent as the savior, and they see you as the savior, and management is expecting results, quick results, maybe doubling the velocity of a team, making the team meet their projects more often, and you come as a Scrum Master, naive Scrum Master, and you start telling the team what to do. It's a trap. You shouldn't be doing that. At least observe the team first. Observe what they are doing. Your role as a Scrum Master, the core of your role, it's a coach. It's a true leader. You are here to serve the team. You are here not to tell them what to do, but to facilitate workshops, discussions, sessions, so that they realize what they need to improve. They realize that there's problems and how to improve that. They are the experts. How can you tell them what to do? Are you a developer? Are you a project manager? Are you a business owner? How do you know? Let the experts tell you what's wrong and how to fix it. You are here to facilitate, coach them, mentor them, teach them the Agile practices, principles, the values, Scrum framework. Yeah, that's fine. But telling them what to do, it's a trap. Your stakeholders, management, they are trying to distract you from not doing your role. They want you to do something else. Maybe a delivery manager, project manager. No, you keep on doing your role. You must be strong. And when you let people decide what are the issues, come up with the solutions, obviously you will get their buy-in because it's their ideas. There will be less resistance, and I guarantee you that you'll meet your targets more often, your improvements more often, because it's their ideas. You get their buy-in. There's a greater chance that they actually take actions on these improvements and the team improves, compared to you telling them what to do. The next outdated behavior that I see so many Scrum Masters doing is saying yes to everything. Yeah, you got hired by a stakeholder. Yeah, a manager somewhere, which is also a stakeholder of a team, is doing your performance evaluation, giving you your bonus at the end of the year. You need to say yes to this person. It's a trap. It's a trap. They are trying to distract you from doing your job. Stakeholders are important. Upper management, important. But you know which one of the stakeholders is the most important? The actual end user. The actual customers. Management are important. You get feedback from management. It helps you define the roadmap. But the highest priority is to satisfy this other stakeholder. Customers. Keep that in mind when making decisions. Are you trying to satisfy management, upper management, or the actual customers? If you're trying to satisfy this other group of stakeholders, what's their agenda? Are they trying to satisfy the customers, or are they trying to do things to get a bonus at the end of the year? Satisfy their own agenda. You should be preventing that, and you prevent that by satisfying the customer. Always having the customer in mind. And if you have a customer in mind, you will coach the team, facilitate sessions to also go into the same direction. You are here to make people uncomfortable. That's the core of your role. Changing the mindset of people, changing the practices. You can't improve if you don't go out of your comfort zone. And that's the core of your role. People will resist, but it's part of a job. Many Scrum Masters are coached by other Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, about saying yes to things like updating Jira. Can you update the Scrum board for me? Can you book this meeting for me? Can you facilitate this session for me? Can you grab coffee for me? They are coached into saying yes to all these things. But what's your role here? You are here to coach the team. That's the core of your role. If you keep on updating Jira, if you keep on bringing coffee for the team, facilitating sessions for the team, resolving all the impediments of the team, you will be here forever. You are an impediment for the team if you keep on doing these things, because you're preventing the team from actually doing these things. You're slowing them down. Maybe not in the short term because they get a helping hand. But in the long term, you're preventing them from learning how to do these things. They are dependent on you, and that's not your role. Stakeholders will try to tell you that it's your role. Maybe other Scrum Masters will tell you that it's your role. It was never what was intended when the Scrum Guide 2020 was written. Go read these 14 pages again. You'll see that that's not the role of a Scrum Master. The Scrum team is self-managed, a cross-functional, self-organized and self-managed team. You're here to coach them. So coach them so much that in a few months, they no longer need you, so that you can move on to another team. Else, if you keep on doing these things, you'll stay forever. Another thing that I see so many Scrum Masters doing, outdated behavior, is asking for status updates in the daily Scrum. Some Scrum Masters don't even call it the daily Scrum. They call it the daily stand-up. But there's a difference. The goal, the purpose of the daily Scrum is to plan the day. For the developers, people involved in the work, so that they can plan their day, answering the question, how can we progress towards the sprint goal? How can we help each other to progress towards the sprint goal? Should the sprint backlog be changed? The priorities in the sprint backlog be changed? These are the type of questions that need answers in the daily Scrum. Not what's the status of this task. What did you do yesterday? What will you do today? Why are you not working fast enough? I see Scrum Masters doing that. Why are you taking 3 days working on a task? The better question would be, how can we help you? How can anyone in the team help you go faster on this task? Is there an impediment blocking you? You're asking if this person needs help. You're not simply asking for status. It becomes a status meeting. If you let the developers, a product owner, come into play without someone telling them that it's not a status meeting, they will naturally gravitate towards making it a status meeting. So when the Scrum Master also believes that it's a status meeting, you got a problem. You need to understand what's the purpose of a daily Scrum. Go again, read the 14 pages of a Scrum Guide. All the events, learn them. The daily Scrum is really simple. Planning of a work, not a status meeting. And why do you even care about the status of someone? Why do you care? Do you feel accountable for the delivery of a team? Maybe. there's another problem. Remember, it's a team. We have a sprint goal and the team is working towards achieving this sprint goal. The team, not individual people. So when you're asking for statuses, you're asking statuses for an individual people, right? You're creating invisible silos in the team. Wrong behavior. Stop managing people. Manage the work. A better question would be, this task, how can we work together to make it progress towards the done column? To get this task meeting the definition of done, how can we do that? You move on to the next task. You move on to the next task. Stop micromanaging people or asking people for statuses in this daily Scrum, because you shouldn't be caring as a Scrum Master. Another outdated behavior is the Scrum Master who is obsessed with velocity. Obsessed with increasing velocity. I see that on so many resumes. I've increased the velocity of a team by 80%. I've doubled the velocity of a team. Really? You've doubled the velocity of a team. And it's a good thing? Why is it a good thing? Because some stakeholder somewhere, a manager somewhere, upper management, directors maybe, they tell you, the team needs to go faster. And you come back in 2 sprints, 3 sprints with some data. We doubled the velocity of a team. It means that we are going faster. Really? If you want to find out why that's not the case, why the obsession with velocity is a bad idea, watch this video right here and I'll see you in a few seconds.